we always have interesting talks, but we have good relations with their communities, and it's because efforts that we've made to communicate. We have forums together. We talk about issues, such as crime. People are concerned about what police do, why police do certain things, identification, immigration, you name it. But one of the things we did talk about too is one of my needs is we look at recruiting diversity in the police department. We rely on the community to help us do that. And we haven't been hiring for the last 3 years, but we're going to be hiring soon. And so we talked about different methods, some ways to get that word out to communities that we're going to be looking for candidates very soon, and that we can help in different ways, financially and otherwise. And found out that they also have different ways to go and help us with that as well. So it's we talked about the success we had with some of the forums that we've had in the past. We haven't had one in a while. It's time for us to probably have another one and take on the issues of the day, any questions from the community. So I don't want to dominate this discussion. I'd like you to hear from them because they're definitely more interesting than I am. And then open it up to questions to you all. So, Anna, do you want to start?
Thank you. Good afternoon to the media, and we are thrilled to be here really with Chief Dolan, who has shown always a very good disposition to talk and to listen to our concerns. We have several concerns that we used to communicate with him, and he's always willing to give an answer, willing to participate, and to create synergies. And I really believe in synergies. We have worked together with Silvia, and Silvia was the one who had this wonderful idea to have this press conference and to address the media, and through the media to reach out our community and to tell them to be confident that we're working for their benefit, and we are partnering with the police in this case in order to provide a good coexistence, a good environment, a safe environment. That's the main objective. And we are there as the Consulate of Ecuador and the Consulate of Mexico as resources for the community. So we are willing, we have explored several ideas to partner, to strengthen the collaboration with the police, and we have several ideas, concrete ideas that Silvia will share with you. And we are really willing to work with the community, to work with the authorities, and well, I would like to use you as media to reach out the community, to spread the word and to tell them to be reassured that we are working for their benefit. Gracias.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Tito, for hosting us, and thank you for always being open to our concerns and to building partnerships with our communities. And the potential initiatives are, apart from helping recruit members of the community to increase diversity in the police department, I believe it's the conversations or bridging the cultural gap between the mainstream and our communities. And because I think conversations, talking, getting to know each other is important, and getting to know the police and their work, the efforts of the police to reaching out the community, as well as the community to reaching out to the police department. It's important. That's our most important focus as consuls. We want to make sure that we work together to protect our communities, to build healthy environment, to talk about the concerns, but also to learn that the police does the job, to understand what the job of the police department is. And that's where we're working for. We agreed on restart the forums, the informative forums, between, just informative forums from the police to the community. And I think, as Luisa said, it's important for us, your support as the media, because that's the only way that the community can know, can learn from what all of us are working on. And apart from that, happy to come on Tuesday, and we welcome and questions.
Hi guys, my name is Gustavo from Univision. What is, in your experience, each one of you guys, what is the actual vision of the Latino community towards the police department in Minneapolis? Do you guys have any data or experiences about it? How do they see it? It's a friendly police department, or what do they need to know about it?
Well, I think that's a very important question. I do think, as we talk in the meetings previous to the press conference, I think many people think, there are comments anywhere, or there are, for the most part, the police department is doing a great job and approaching the community. But their job is also to protect, to do their job, to do the enforcement of the law. So in that respect, the Latino community does a wonderful job, because I do think that we have a good relationship with the police, but we have to also be aware that we have to be abided by the law and play by the rules. So if maybe more information, I think communication is key. Communication about makes us learn and understand the law and also comply with the law. So that's what we are here for, to communicate what does the police want from us, and what does we need from the police.
You both said, I'm sorry, I'll just start reviewing here locally. You both said that you've been open to listening to your concerns. Can you just say what your concerns are?
Well, we talked about, and this goes to the previous question, we talked about profiling, and we understand that, when anybody gets stopped, they feel like they, a little bit, why was I stopped? And I think, we have those dialogues with the community. We say, if you're driving without a headlight or a tail light, we can see you for 3-4 blocks away, and we're going to stop that car. You're going to get stopped. So don't do that. That's not smart to do that. The other thing, though, is talking about, if you are cited for a violation, or you have a violation of some sort, you need to have valid identification, where you're going to end up going downtown and get booked, and they're going to check your immigration status and other things. And you're going to be what?
Not the police.
Yeah,
Police is not.
right. Yeah. So but you're going to be detained, and maybe detained unnecessarily, because you don't have that identification. And we expand our identification here in Minneapolis. We take identification from both consulates that we include in our list of what we accept as valid identification. So we're trying to reach out, but we need to constantly communicate that what we do, why we do it, and what you can best do to not be unnecessarily detained. So we had some of those conversations.
If I may just to a little bit and to comment on your question, Gustavo, I'll start with you. Yeah, I think this is an ongoing work. We have to, there are challenges all the time, because the community is dynamic, as well as the state, as well as the needs. So we have to continue discussing and having these conversations. That's why the idea of getting together frequently to have this forum to inform our community about their rights, but also their obligations, because it's a shared responsibility. And they have to abide by the rules, because there are consequences if they don't So we have to educate. So it's a big part of education, and we are willing to do that together with the police in order to let them know how to behave, what are the kind of documents that are accepted as an ID, the matrícula consular that we it's accepted by the police. But sometimes we have to reinforce that. So we have to do our job in terms of educating the community in the broad sense of the word. But in this task, we have to partner. We have to partner with the consulate, the two consulates, and together with authorities in order to send a real message. What is the real purpose? It's not to persecute people and because of the sake of doing that, but to create a much more safe environment, and we are here to do that.
Have there also been concerns expressed about any worries, concerns about folks being detained and perhaps deported? Anybody here who is not documented? Were those were concerns as well?
Absolutely. We have talked about this in a very transparent way. A main concern from the communities that they are sometimes detained and they end up being deported. Because, well, there's a hold of immigration that it's beyond the capacity of the police to do that, because they go to the county. So that's another authority, that's another thing that we discussed. It's confusing because there are many badges. There's a badge, but many police, or the sheriff is not like the police, is not the same. So it's complex in terms of the organization. So we have to, again, educate about this. I mean, the police is not taking the people to immigration, but they are taken to immigration, and they have the hold of immigration because then ICE enters and gets in because there's a hold, and in the Hennepin County, I mean, this goes beyond. But as long as we educate our community, and in the meantime, at the federal level, they are doing their job in terms of how to reach a migratory reform, which is another discussion. That goes beyond our capability, because we don't have the power to decide. That's a federal issue.
Hi.